Jeremy from Trading Safely. Just a quick update on gold. Gold is trying to build some daily support down here at 1249.5. I'm not sure I believe it yet. We did have a daily sell signal the other day, but we typically don't. We don't take any signals. They're in the middle of the distribution because they're not high probability signals. We'd rather deal at the edges. So gold has been struggling. There's no two ways about it. The dollar's been getting smacked, and gold is finding it extremely difficult to go up. And the reason why is just, as we keep mentioning, there's just a lot of resistance here. You know, we've got last quarter's midpoint, last month's midpoint, just sitting there at, what's that level there? 1255 to 1267. And on top of that, you've got a bunch of volume resistance right here, and you've got last month's close. Falling closing resistance right here. So that zone from 1255 to 1270 is pretty concentrated resistance. So really, for gold to get a leg up, we want to see it closing back above, into this zone, even higher, to get it going. It does have work to do. It's not ideal at the moment. It did make low lows and close under this former low, so that definitely has to leave the bias to the downside for me. I'm happy to be wrong, however. In terms of the trend, if we look at this study down here at the bottom, this tracks uptrends across different time frames. So when you see it stepping up, it means it's tracking uptrends in different time frames, and we keep the count over here. So 60-minute trends, 120, 240, 480 daily. So these white bars that you can see here, they're tracking the daily uptrend, and so at the moment that daily uptrend has actually rolled off. Equally, however, there are no downtrends building at the moment. So gold is at resistance. It has closed under a former low, which is, in my mind, bearish. We do have falling monthly level there acting as resistance at 1269, and in the short term, I do believe gold needs to get above this 1280 zone to be bullish on a weekly closing basis. So to the downside, this key level that we keep saying is sort of a line in the sand. This 1240, 41, 42 zone, which corresponds with last month's close, and also the bottom of the volume profile. So look for a close under that for the market to then retest a fair bit lower. I think if we start breaking back under this 1241 zone, we're going to be down here in this 1189 zone pretty quick. To the upside, you're really talking about a test of 1307.8, and with the dollar index, approaching some pretty major lows within the cent or two of some pretty major lows, it does concern me that if the dollar turns around, then it could make it pretty nasty for gold to the downside. Although, as we keep mentioning, we do believe that gold longer term is probably moving higher, and we say that because there's rising annual support, which is this puppy here. So I hope that helps, and it's probably worth also just quickly pulling off these support and resistance studies and just have a look at our range relativity study. That always gives useful information. So just bear with me one sec. Okay, so take off that and this. Okay, so there's another. There you go. There's another set of weekly resistance right here. So we're at the yearly bullish, and we're at the weekly bullish pivot, and they'll act as resistance unless we can take these, much like here. See how we took out this weekly bullish pivot on a closing basis at the end of the week. That will typically signal higher, but where we fail to start taking this pivot out here at the end of the week, then that's warning you that gold is running out of puff. So there's a bunch of resistance through here. Gold does need to be above the 1280 zone to keep moving higher, and as I've mentioned in previous videos, we've got this negative quarterly slingshot zone set up, so this can result in deep moves to the downside. So much the same as these little white dots cause this move up here, these brown dots can cause a much bigger move down. So that is also a negative bias for gold potentially. So hope that helps, folks, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.